Hello everyone, and thank you for watching the Brain Bean Gaming channel. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the more speculative aspects of Pantheon's development. All of this information was taken from the developers roundtable they hosted on SoundCloud quite a while ago. That being said, some of this information is sure to change, but seeing as we don't have a ton of information about the game yet, I thought it would be fun and exciting to share what ideas the developers have for the game. We already know that Pantheon is being created to appeal more to the hardcore, old-school style of MMORPG players. The kind of player that likes a challenge. The kind of player that wants to work together with a group of individuals to achieve a goal. The kind of player that doesn't just want their new gear handed to them, but rather earn it, and thus display it with pride once they finally have it in their grasp. Let's take a look at some systems that I haven't covered yet in my other videos. Let's talk about crafting. Pantheon devs have spent a lot of time talking about crafting, and while how it will work hasn't been completely determined, a crafting system is planned to be in place at launch. The devs are shooting for a crafting system similar to EverQuest. There is also talk of a gathering system to augment the crafting system in the game. This is exciting because current MMOs have gotten a bit carried away with their crafting systems, often leading to quite a few of the more powerful items in the game being exclusively crafted. The most powerful items in the game should absolutely come from tough, hard-fought battles. It gives far more sense of achievement than grinding mats for a week. That being said, getting a rare crafted component from a difficult encounter or quest chain would be the exception. So what happens when you kick the bucket in Pantheon? When it comes to death in Pantheon, the devs had this to say: death needs to hurt. However, death is also a part of the game and shouldn't discourage players from getting out there and exploring. Death will be at least as painful as Vanguard, and probably more. The plan is to respawn at a spawn location with all of your items, but take an XP hit, and when you get back to your corpse, you may get some of your XP back. That's at least the minimum penalty we can expect, and chances are it will be steeper than that. Like all MMOs, your spells will become more powerful with your character. So will the spell's effects, becoming more elaborate as the player increases the power of their abilities. It's unknown if the abilities will scale with the player leveling up with them as they go. It's more likely that players will have to learn a more powerful version of the spell, seeing as we already know that there will be a spellbook in the game similar to EverQuest. One of the most common questions regarding Pantheon is, will there be AAs, or alternate advancement? Pantheon devs are hoping to add AAs to the game, although they may not take the approach EQ veterans will be used to. It's very likely that Pantheon will have some kind of AAs, handled through several different kinds of systems. The idea behind the AA system is that it will be non-linear and rewarding. As for items, the devs have stated that there will be different rarities of items, from your common items to fantastic legendary weapons. How these classes of rarity will show up in the UI has yet to be determined, but it's unknown right now if they will be using the seemingly standard color-coded item rarity system in the UI. In EQ, you could sell an item to an NPC, who would then be able to turn around and sell the item back to another player. It made for a more immersive experience, and really it made a lot of sense. Pantheon devs say that's the kind of vendor system they plan to have in Pantheon. They want a strong player-driven economy. The devs are not big on bind on equip or no trade items. However, there will be incentives in the game for players to sacrifice their items to gain things like week-long buffs. These incentives are in place to prevent oversaturation of certain items. There's also the concept of situational gear, which means having items stored in your inventory that will help the player tackle certain types of situations. For example, armor that is resistant to certain types of damage. This will also help prevent players from dumping their old gear the minute they find something else. The devs say that they do not want to discourage trading or even twinking lower level characters, but simply give the player a choice as what is more beneficial to their character when deciding what to do with their items. One of the few things on this list that we do know is for sure is that Pantheon will be a zone-based game. The devs say that this is not a technology issue, that this is a decision that they have made. They made the choice to be a zone-based game because many of the game's systems will take advantage of the zone-based design. This means that Pantheon will have loading screens between each zone in the game. The game will release with raid content. Not much of a surprise, but what is interesting is that Pantheon devs stated that they would like to include raid content that isn't exclusive to endgame players, but rather have raid-based content that is accessible for many different level groups as players progress through the game. This is a great idea. How many times have you heard somebody say, max level is where the game really starts? Why shouldn't the game really start when you create your character? Why can't you participate in events that are just as fun as the endgame stuff? This is an extremely promising idea, and I really can't wait to see how this one turns out. In regards to gear, the devs have said that they're trying to take a more realistic approach to gear design. Your starting gear will look weak and puny, while your endgame gear will look a good deal better, but you won't look like a glowing superhero either. On the flip side of that, there will be items in the game that will be very difficult to obtain, but will definitely look powerful and be worthy of showing off in town. How many of us remember playing a game like EQ, for example, where when you went into a city and you saw a player standing there with their epic, you look at them and you think, man, that guy looks awesome. I want to have gear like that one day. They want the high level stuff to inspire players. Also, going back to situational gear, you won't run into having all the level 29 enchanters looking the same, for example, because some of these players will be wearing different gear depending on what dungeon they may have just come from or what encounter they're getting ready to tackle. There is so much here that is incredibly promising. This really could be the game that we've all been dreaming of. The devs absolutely have their minds in the right place in their approach to the design of Pantheon. Give this video a like if you cannot wait to jump into Terminus and experience a real MMORPG again, and be sure to subscribe to my channel to stay current on all things Pantheon. You can follow the channel on Twitter at BrainBean Gaming for real-time updates on what's going on with the channel. If you like what I do and would like to support the channel, please consider using my Amazon affiliate link in the description below. This allows the channel to get a small kickback whenever you purchase items on Amazon. It costs nothing for you, and it goes a long way to providing you a better viewing experience here on the BrainBean Gaming channel. I would like to bring up one final topic before I go. There has been a lot of progress made on Pantheon, and if you're as excited as I am to see its release in a timely manner, I urge all of you to become a supporter and purchase a Founders Pack for the game. They offer many packages for different contributions, and I think you will see the value in these packages. I highly recommend the Knight's Pledge. You can also upgrade your package at any time should you wish to do so. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching the BrainBean Gaming channel, and I'll see you guys next time.